I know we were expecting some new developments this weekend, but some of them have failed quality control. Make sure you indicate what you'd like redeveloped via the workstation.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of my F1 2018 Career Mode. Today we are here for the Monaco Grand Prix, the crown jewel in the calendar, round number 6 of Season 3. Now if you guys did miss the last race for the Spanish Grand Prix, check it out. Click the card in the top right hand corner in your screen, or also follow the link in the description down below. It's the start of the European season and pretty much to kickstart my season, because the first 4 races were terrible and Spain was the start of something special, hopefully. And as you can see, for this race we have 2 upgrades. One of them failed, however, critically, the one that was the major upgrade did arrive, so that makes us now the top team in Formula 1, and we overtake 2 teams from 3rd to 1st arriving at this race. TYRE also bringing some strong upgrades of their own, but we arrive here this weekend with confidence because, after Spain, we had a lot of tyre temperature issues. It was really overcooking our tyres, but we still came through in the points, which was a good result. Admittedly, it could have been a hell of a lot better. But it's a step forward, because even though in the race we didn't show great pace, for example in qualifying we got our first Q3 appearance of the season, we qualified P6, so there's a lot of positives to take, albeit suffering a hell of a lot with tyre temperature, and that was something that again I noticed this weekend, and I was expecting to struggle with this weekend here at Monaco. I was doing the race strategy test and I was really struggling for tyre temperatures here, so I already knew I was in big trouble. You'll see my setup once we delve into the race. But you can see here, literally I'm drifting through to back there on that particular lap. But all in all, we managed to get most of the programs except for the qualifying performance test. But we're now going to have an interview with Claire and then swiftly move into qualifying.
How do you feel this season is going for you? Is the car competitive? You really went all out in practice today. Are you testing new components? You left a lot of paint on the walls today. Were you struggling for grip, or did you just misjudge some corners? Great, well that's everything.
And that is it, interview done and dusted, and we now move into Saturday qualifying. Now, hopefully, we can try and pull one out the bag here yet again. I love Monaco, it's such a good racing circuit, and the ultimate qualifying track, you could say, in my opinion, especially on this year's game. I don't enjoy it as much because of the tyre temperature situation, and in qualifying that's not much of a factor, but in terms of the race it definitely ruins the experience a bit. Hopefully it doesn't happen this weekend. That's what I'm kind of banking on. If my tyres don't overheat, we'll have a good race weekend. So first of all though, let's see what qualifying has in store for us. I'm looking forward to it. It's the ultimate qualifying circuit, like I mentioned, so let's see how we get on. First of all, in Q1, we go out on a set of Hypersoft tyres on our first run. We're currently last. We do jump up into P19, though. Only 1 place gained on our first attempt, and instantly I was concerned. So we're going to run aboard now for a full lap of the Monaco circuit to see exactly where I improved, because this was my best lap of the session. Straight away, through turn 1, really carrying the speed as we now go up the hill into turn 4 for Massenet here. It's all about getting as close to the barriers as possible. I get Casino with the right hander there really, really badly. I tap the wall and also miss the apex by a country mile. Now locking up into Mirabeau here, down to the lowest hairpin now. First gear, pick up your apex, really attack that curb. There's a lot of time to gain as we now throw it onto the curb of the right hander here. Now going into Portier yet again, as close as there. Critical here to get good traction into the tunnel here, because that's going to dictate how much straight line speed you have on the back straight. As we now look for the 100 metre board, break down to 3rd gear, possibly 2nd, pick up your apexes for the Nouvelle chicane. I just get away with touching the wall on the left hand side there as we now throw the car into Tobacco. Big wall tap again there, and a bit of a scruffy lap so far, but we're a quarter of a second up as we now go through the swimming pool section. Now braking into Raskas, 2nd gear action again here, lock up using 1st gear to rotate the front end as we now go through Antonino's, open up DRS, and that is a lap of Monaco. And to be fair, we pulled it out of the bag in the final sector, even though we had a very scruffy lap, and we go P15 on the bubble, and luckily nobody else improved, and we get through into Q2 only just. Speaking of which, we go into Q2 on the Ultrasoft compound tyres, a slower intermediate compound of the 3 available this weekend, because I don't have enough Hypersofts left. So we're going on the Ultra. We go P15 as expected, not really doing much damage there with that tyre. However, we go again on the hypers, this time for my final run in Q2, my best lap of the session. Let's see how this one goes compared to my Q1 lap. So far, we're miles up on the Delta already as we now throw it into Massenet. This time, a lot closer to the wall, and also through Casino. They're extremely close, really getting the time gain there. 10th up now, really finding a lot of time through there. Now on the apex of Mirabeau, not locking up this time into lows yet again. No lockups, attacking the curb, swinging the car around. Patience is required through here, but we're currently really on a good lap here, up on the Delta by half a second as we now go through Portier into the tunnel, go through the gears, and look once again for the 100-meter board down to third gear for the Nouvelle chicane. It's all about efficiency here and really attacking the first corner to really open up the exit. Once again, beautiful stuff there. Zero ball spin, which is what you want as we go into Tabac. I go in a little bit too late and I missed my apex. I definitely left probably a 10th of a second on the table there by turning in that late. Now going through the swimming pool section though, very nice and tidy through there. Braking late now for Rascasso, a bit of a lock up on the right front again. Probably threw away another 10th and also another 10th there through the final corner, and I reckon there's about a quarter of a second I've left on the table on that lap, and ultimately it's not going to be enough as we qualify P12. So in hindsight, 3 lockups there in the final sector. I definitely could have, I think there was 2.5 to 3 tenths left on the table there, definitely a quarter of a second for sure, and it would have been close to getting to Q3 nonetheless. But all in all, a decent qualifying. We get free toss of tyre for the race tomorrow, and hopefully we can control the tyre temperatures. If so, it's going to be a good race. So speaking of which, let's jump into it here for round 6 and the Monaco Grand Prix. It's race time.
A proper road race, and in the true meaning of the word. That was how Mr. Monaco, the late great Graham Hill, once described this iconic event. The cars we drive have come a long way in the intervening half-century, but still we race on those same public roads beside the Mediterranean Sea. There's no victory more coveted than that of the Monaco Grand Prix. The astonishing Circuit de Monaco is, for all intents and purposes, virtually unchanged since its inaugural race back in 1929. The faster cars of today, though, ensure the 19 corners past the casino and along the seafront remain as thrilling as ever. A 2.1-mile lap here takes us around an entire country, yet never more than inches from the race-ending barriers. With me today, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk briefly about Brendan Hartley. Looks like they've got a tough race in store today, as grid penalties from changing power unit components has forced them further down the field.
Everyone has to deal with penalties or reliability issues from time to time throughout their career. You just have to suck up the pain and get on with the job at hand. Today isn't about performing a miracle to put the car back where it should be. It's about effective damage limitation.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. Sebastian Vettel will start on pole. Fantastic qualifying from the multiple world champion. And Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Ricciardo, Raikkonen, Valtteri Bottas and Sainz, Hülkenberg, Perez, Ocon and Fernando Alonso, Martinez, Magnussen, Romain Grosjean and Gasly, Leclerc, Stroll, Stoffel Van Dorn and Marcus Ericsson. Hartley, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty, and Sergei Sirotkin rounds off the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Right then, here we are for the Monaco Grand Prix on the grid. P11, not too shabby, just outside of the top 10. Brendan Hartley getting a penalty in the Toro Rosso behind us. Now, I'm not, in a way, I hate to say this, but I'm not looking forward to this race because of the tyre overheating. I'm hoping I can nerf the issue. I'm going to show you guys the setup I'm using in a moment's time. But I'm hoping it does the trick. I really, really do, because if we can keep our tyres up, under control and not lose temperature, then we might have a good race here today, and it could work out because the one stop is super OP. All we've got to do is make sure we're ahead of Fernando Alonso, who's to my left. If we get ahead of Alonso and we jump him, we're going to be the lead car on the one-stop strategy. No one else is starting on the Ultras in the top 10, so we're going to have that massive advantage, and we have to make it count, and that could really turn our race around. So tyre temperatures are key, and also strategy is also key as well. In terms of the race strategy, we're going to start on the Ultras, go over to the Supers. We're going to avoid the Hypers in their entirety. Like I said, cut our pit stop, try and have track position. And in terms of the setup for the car, as you can see, we have 810 on the wings, then 60-10 on the diff. I'm not really sure about the diff. I might actually go 50, to be fair. I might change that now to leave it nice and unlocked. That way we can rotate the tyres nicely and have less tyre wear. In terms of the suspension, that's default because I'm not really sure where I fall on that one. Suspension-wise, all I've done here, I've knocked the rears down because I'm focusing on just keeping the temperatures down. So all the values are down just to try and keep temperatures down. In terms of the brakes, I'm running 55 brake bias with 56 on the pressure. In terms of tyres, PSIs, the rears are as soft as they can be. We've really tried to get the pressure out and make them very, very sticky, but at the same time, just not overheat basically. So we will have good tyres in terms of grip. However, we might lose a little bit of a rear tyre grip through fast corners, such as Tabac, for example. But like I said at the bottom there, increased tyre pressures contribute to contribute to high tyre temperature. So we've gone for the lowest possible pressure on the front as well. We've knocked it down by a couple of units, and in the ballast we've got 7 on the rear. So hopefully that'll work. That's the strategy, that's the setup. Let's see how it goes. I'm praying we keep temperatures under control. I'm going to try my hardest, and hopefully, critically, we try and get past Alonso early on and get track position. With that being said, let's jump into it here for round number 6 for the Monaco Grand Prix. Right, here we go then. Let's get ready for the 5 red lights here for the Monaco Grand Prix. Lights out, and away we go. Not a great launch off for the line, it has to be said. Alonso, though, getting put on the outside line. We're going to go aggressively into turn 1 here. Gets up by South Alonso, squirt the throttle on early, and we just get in front. We get the move done. Critical overtake there, but we do get ahead of Alonso, which is exactly what we wanted. So that's good news. Now we've got Perez here on the Hypersoft. We're going to go up the inside here into Mirabeau, but Perez is going to go on the outside and hold on to the position. Does he? No, not quite. He does actually back out, surprisingly. So we make up an extra place into the top 10 now. P9. Good stuff. And rare 2 positions gained at the start of the race in Monaco. Now it's all about finding the sweet spot and not overdoing it. The Force India we know is fast in the straights, so once DRS gets enabled, Perez will be a threat. I mean, he's going to be a threat already without DRS, so he might get back past me fairly swiftly here. So I'm kind of hoping that we just don't lose too much time battling with him, and if he gets the move done, I want him to commit to it basically. As to be said, the Renault boys done a fantastic job. 6th and 7th in qualifying. Those were the big shocks, the 2 banana cars. You can see already in the race they're struggling for pace here, and the top 5 are really pulling away, but the Renault is really pulling off the shock of qualifying. Their car obviously around this circuit, where it's not so engine power dependent, they've pulled out the bag here, so fair play to them. The Renaults really are going super slow here. We're on the back of Ocon. Can I try and get a move on Esteban here? We're on the inside into the final corner, and we do get it done there. Quite a surprising move, but we got past Ocon there, first time of asking. Caught me off guard slightly, but we've got past both of the Force Indias here, and so far this car's working nicely on these tyres on race pace. So far tyres also feel good, which is good news, but now we're going to get onto the back of the Renaults here. Can we get past the 2 banana cars? Let's find out. Perez and Ocon actually battling behind me here, 4 positions, so that's going to buy me some time to try and pull away here, so let's make it count. Okay, we've definitely got some pace here. I think Hulkenberg might have a problem maybe, because he seems to be going very slow, but we're knocking on the door. I'm going to try and go for the same move as last time, this time on Carlos Sainz. Into the final corner up the inside, and it's a textbook manoeuvre. There we go. I don't know if I mentioned it, but you guys can see the fuel there. We're 2.5 laps under. I've gone super aggressive with fuel just because I'm hoping that will give me a lighter car and I'll be nicer to my tyres. That also might explain why I've got great pace early on here. Hulkenberg really struggling. I'm going to try and size him up for a move sometime soon here, maybe into the Nouvelle Chicane. Right, same again here, into Raskas. Focus on the exit. Little switcheroo up the inside. Job done, DRS. And there we go. Right, we're in clean air, we're good to go. Hamilton's in the pit lane there. So we're now up into P4, clean air. Let's have a look at the tyres here for the first time. Temperatures look okay, so we're just going to keep it on this temperature screen now and just basically monitor the tyre wear and temperatures. This could be a bit of a boring race for the viewer, obviously I can understand that, but look at the Renaults are doing me a favour here. They're going to hold everybody up so we can just focus on our lap times and be consistent and keep our tyre temperatures under control. So this is the perfect scenario for me. I've done the critical overtakes that I need, so I'm also putting some serious distance between myself and Fernando Alonso, who's on the same strategy. So this is working out beautifully so far. So it's all about consistency and making it work now. Okay, rears are starting to get hot already here. Cars in the pit lane. We're going to inherit the race lead. So there we go. We've made it work. Those on hypers have had to come in. Personal best from me. However, my left rear is cooking. So we're going to have to get off the pace a bit and cool off the tyre a little bit if we can. Okay, Sebastian Vettel right on the back of me here. He's got DRS, but he's not close enough into turn 1. I'm just trying to drive smoothly here, but those sort of moves ain't going to help me out one bit when it comes to losing the back end like that. Sebastian close. He goes to the outside, which is quite interesting, but no way through there, pal, unfortunately. And he has to back out of that. I am in big trouble here. There is absolutely no way I can call off my rears. I'm driving at a stupidly slow pace, and there's no way I can cool them down. I'm starting to cause a massive train here, and I've still got ages left on these tyres, but there's literally nothing I can do to cool down the tyres. I'm in hot lap ERS to try and defend myself on the straights and give myself a chance, but I've literally got nothing. I'm slowing down that much now through the lowest hairpin that I'm causing the yellow flag. Got the tyre temperatures down by 2 degrees on the left rear, which is good. However, Seb Vettel right on the back of me here. No way through though. I'm just having to go super slow through the slow corners. And on traction inputs, it's ridiculous how much I have to get out of the throttle here. Okay, again, you watch how slow I go through here. I'm doing it on purpose because the AI don't commit to a move, and I'm basically abusing the system. But the fact is, in my opinion, this is kind of broken because there is no way in hell to cool the tyres down. It does not matter how smooth you drive, how clean you drive, how little wheel spin you have, you just cannot do anything about it. Vettel makes the move and gets the overtake done. I can't fight it. I've just got nothing to do. I can't do nothing about it. It's so frustrating right now. Finally just starting to get the temperatures down, but it's taken a superhuman effort, and also I'm now out of VRS. I can't really use hot lap, so I'm kind of a bit of a sitting duck at the moment, and I can't get the traction. I mean, I can get the traction, but if I want to keep my tyre temperatures alive, I can't risk it. Here goes Ricardo around the inside. I'm not going to fight it. I just can't afford to, unfortunately. Alonso's behind me. He's the man I'm racing. He's on the same strategy. He's someone that I will have to defend against. I've got my tyres just about back under control now, finally, but that doesn't mean I can push, because if I push, it's going to go back into the danger zone. So I'm going to try and find a pace that suits me, but I'm still concerned, very concerned. Good thing is that McLaren isn't that fast on the straight, so we should be okay. Okay, I've got it under control for now. The left rear is staying at 103, which is fine. And we're just edging towards the pit window now, bit by bit. Alonso hasn't challenged me, so we found a sweet spot. Now we've got to try and maintain this if we can. That's a better lap, only a second off my personal best. However, at the cost of a degree Celsius in left rear tyre temperature, we're now back in danger. Tyre temperature's creeping back up to critical stage, and lap time's dropping off as a consequence. I am in hot lap ERS. This is now my scheduled pit stop lap, so we're going to come in this lap for the soft compound tyres, or the super soft, should I say. And we're not going to think twice about it. Both my rears are hot. All of a sudden my audio levels have just gone up. I used the team radio to sound boxing this lap, and my audio seems to have fixed itself. I thought it seemed a bit low at first. Either way, here we go into the pit lane for our one and only stop here. Right, plenty of cars in the pit lane it seems. There's already 3 behind me. That we shouldn't get held up. Hopefully we come out ahead of Stoffel. Let me go. There we go. Right, okay. Literally we're inside Stoffel Van Dorn, but I don't mind that. Come on, come on. Just get me out, just get me out. Right, okay, luckily we didn't lose the position. We lost a little bit of time, but I don't mind. Now we're going to be in all this traffic though, so let's try and have a good out lap. We're racing Alonso here. We'll come in this lap, so we need a good out lap. Right then, here we go. Alonso's leaving the pit lane now. He's gained quite a bit of time on me, unfortunately, and I think he's got the jump, which is annoying. There he is. He's in front of us. He's made it work. Good thing is he's going to get held up by traffic. Bad thing is, for me, if you notice my fuel, we are critical. Fuel saving's not been as good as I thought. I keep forgetting this ain't the Toro Rosso. So I'm going to have to run Lee Mix later on, but I want to try and get back past Alonso first if I can. He's going to be slow in amongst all this traffic, so we will get a chance to pass him. There we go. Beautiful line through the swimming pool section. Into Raskas, up the inside. Beautiful move. Absolutely fantastic. And we're back ahead of Alonso. Critical overtake. Had to get that one done. I'm going to start saving fuel now, so we're going to run it in Lee Mix. Hopefully that might give me less wheel spin and I can actually keep my tyres in a bit more. We're going to put hot lap ERS to counteract for the Lee Mix use, and hopefully we'll basically leave it in lean as long as the battery survives, basically. Danny Rick pits in. That's how far ahead he is on the track, but right now this should be us in 3rd place, so that's good news. A bit of wheel spin there, that's not what we want, but we're looking very racy here on the back of Sirotkin, even in Lee mix, so I might try and size him up for a move. There we go, great run through the swimming pool section into Raskas, not quite. Sirotkin's pretty good on the brakes there, to be fair. A couple of cars come in, but Sirotkin does not. He doesn't have DRS, so he's going to be on the back foot slightly. However, we just don't have that speed to really make the move work, so we have to remain behind the Williams driver for now. Okay, out the final corner then. DRS open. Can we make anything happen here? I don't think we can. We do rejoin though ahead of a bunch of cars, which is good news. We're now up into P6. We're saving fuel, and also critically, worth pointing out, tyre temperatures are staying beautifully under control in Lee mix. I'm getting exactly what I need in terms of performance now, and I feel a lot more confident. I can actually push a bit and lead on the tyres and not have to worry about temperatures. So I may have just found the solution, so we might just keep it in lean for the rest of the race. The only problem is I'm running out of hot lap ERS deployment, but hopefully we should still be okay with straight line speed, even in lean, hopefully. I'm expecting Sirotkin in this lap, so I'm just going to sit behind and wait for the DRS basically. However, if he doesn't come in, I want to try and get him into the final corner. He's good on the brakes, but then out of Raskas he's terrible. He doesn't go for the pit lane, so he's not coming in yet. And to be fair, I can't get close enough. Alonso's currently battling with Perez, it seems. We're now up into P5, or Perez might have been in the pit lane, I'm not really sure, either or. Look at that, temperature's staying beautifully in the 100-degree zone. This is fantastic. I'm happy to sit here basically. We can now actually show off our pace a bit. Right, with this lap we're going to get past Sirotkin here. I don't think he's coming in. He might be going to the end, so we need to get this move done and dusted. Into the swimming pool chicane. Let's focus on Raskas. Sirotkin's late on the brakes into Raskas, but he's got terrible traction coming out the corner. Oh, and as I say, that Sirotkin comes in, that's completely ruined my momentum. When I finally was going to commit to the overtake, he comes in. Either way, we're now in P3, back on the podium, back where he was. Clean air. Now, can we push? Do we have the pace in Lee mix to try and pull away? Let's find out. Right, so far so good. Good pace. I'm matching the personal best, and I'm keeping Alonso at a good distance that he can't attack me even with DRS. We're actually pulling away slightly on that lap. Tyre temperatures went up a little bit, but we did pull away, so I'm going to keep it going here. Left rear just starting to show the first signs of getting hot. Got to be careful. Once it gets hot, there's no turning back. Meanwhile, I'm experimenting here. I'm trying to use high ERS level 3 because I reckon I can get away with it. I reckon I could use that and keep it at that and not have to use any higher modes. Right then, 10 laps to go. Everything very much under control here. I've got my left rear nicely under control. The front left is the one that's getting a little bit hot. Running ERS in high seems to be working for now. I'm getting a lot more longevity out of the battery without having to save it, and also I've just left it in lead mix, and it's definitely the way to go in terms of keeping my tyres in check. So I'm not complaining. We're a lot more comfortable now. I don't feel under pressure at all. I'm running obviously a massive train behind me, and I could go a lot faster, but you know, I'm doing what I've got to do basically. Just starting to get a bit of a gap out now. Alonso's keeping up, but the Haas behind is struggling to really stay afloat and keep up with us now. I'm just starting to pull the train a bit. I've got a bit of confidence as well. I'm starting to really push the car now, and by no means am I anywhere near the limit. There's an easy half second per lap I'm leaving on the table, but the left rear is not getting hot. I seem to have now finally, after 31 laps, found the way to control everything, so I can deal with the hot front left. That's not a concern, so it's all working fine at the moment. Left rear just starting to get back into the danger zone. However, you can see that lap I just pushed a little bit more, and I can actually break Alonso and the pack, so I can do it if I want to. So right now, like I said, I'm not really under threat, I'm not under pressure. I feel very comfortable, and the laps are ticking over slowly but surely. Right, I'm going to try and run rich mix. Controversial, I know, but we're going to see what happens. I'm going to keep a keen eye on tyre temperatures and see if they get really bad or not. At the moment, I'm able to manage the temperatures beautifully in rich mix as well. It's all under control here at the moment, which is good, and we're doing a good job. 4 laps to go. Let's bring it home. On to the last lap of the Grand Prix then. Here we go. I've actually got rich mix and hot lap ERS now engaged. Maximum engine modes for this last lap. Left rear now just starting to get a little bit hot, but we should be okay. Right then, Ricciardo wins. We're just nursing the car through the final few corners here. I've stretched the AI a little bit this lap. I'm on for a pretty decent lap actually. My best one in a little while. But it's been a very under control race. A great turnaround. And we're going to bring home a podium in Monaco, which is very, very good for us. And I'm loving that. I will take that every day of the week. Ricciardo wins. We get third place. A great result for us as a team. And I controlled that race perfectly this time. Tire temperatures were hot, but I knew it was going to happen. And I kept it all under control. What a race.
A great win then for the Red Bull team today. And Anthony Davidson, give me your thoughts. How did they accomplish this result?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs. And that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy, and to stay out of trouble.
And I can see now the drivers are making their way out. We need Red Bull fighting at the front. They do an incredible amount for Formula One. And that's another winner's trophy heading back to Milton Keynes.
Right, so looking at the final race results, Daniel Ricciardo wins the Monaco Grand Prix ahead of Sebastian Vettel and myself. Then Fernando Alonso P4 managed to beat him on strategy merit. And then we got Magnussen, Bottas, Grosjean, Van Dorn, Stroll and Lewis Hamilton. Sergio Perez and Esteban Ocon both miss out on points, as does Pierre Gasly. And also further down the order, Kimi Räikkönen, who finished in last place this race. Very weird one for him, but on a 3-stop strategy, you're kind of going to finish there, to be honest with you. But all in all, a very good race. I cannot complain, and we pulled off the job beautifully. In terms of the standings, though, we jump up into 7th place. Meanwhile, Ricciardo jumps up into 3rd place. So, very good race for us. We gain a lot of positions. And in terms of the constructors, that means we actually overtake Toro Rosso and retake 3rd place. So, a positive step for us this race. And I'm now looking forward to going to a track that doesn't have so much tyre overheating issues in the form of Canada, which is going to be a very fun race and one that I'm looking forward to. And then we've got Paul Ricard, which I absolutely love as well, and Austria as well. So hopefully a good series of tracks for us to really, especially for me, to really try and mount my title charge and get my season back on track, and also get some good upgrades in the car. But all in all, let's move into the laptop.
You gained a lot of positions during the race, didn't you? You must be happy with the result today. Do you still have a lot to learn before you're at the same level as your rival? Do you think you were lucky not to end your race with that crash? Great! Well, that's everything.
Okay, so we're here on the R&D screen, and we're going to do a couple more upgrades on the chassis side of things. Now, as you can see, we have a couple of options here, but I've got 2 in mind. First, we're going to get the tyre where that failed, and also one for the weight reduction here, and we're going to get those on the car. Hopefully they both arrive for Canada. That should give us a nice boost, and fingers crossed we can keep on improving in the chassis department and keep on pushing on and doing a good job. But all in all, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the episode of Career Mode. If you have, then drop a like. Also, do get subscribed for daily Formula 1 content, guys, and turn on notifications to not miss a single video from me. Also, finally, check out these 2 videos on screen if you have missed them. But other than that, thank you for watching this episode, guys, and I'll see you on my next one very soon. Goodbye.